Hey, last week of me. And we'll be back to see you guys next week. We're so excited. Okay, so we are going to continue talking about, actually, we might be back today. I can't remember the dates. Anyways, today we're going to continue talking about creation. And today we're going to focus in on Ephesians 2:10. So we're going to focus in on how God has created these kids for a purpose and how God is going to use them in mighty ways and use the creative ways that he has for them for certain purposes. So bottom line, God's created you for a purpose. And so what you're going to do is, as the kids come through the door, greet them by name, do offering, and then you're going to split them up into pairs or threes. And what you're going to have them do is you're going to have them use the material. You'll have like construction paper and tape and things like that. And what they want to do is they want to build the tallest tower. And so you're going to give them a set amount of time and everybody's going to try to build the tallest tower. And then you're going to measure around and see who has the tallest tower. And of course, whoever has the tallest tower wins. And then after that, you are going to move on to this activity sheet. And what you're going to do is you're going to invite kids to write on these lines what this item is and what it was created for. What is the purpose of this item? And so you're going to give the kids a few minutes to go over the worksheet and write on the lines. And then you're going to recap and you're going to share what those items' true purpose are. And then that's going to lead us into large group. And in large group, we're talking about how God has made us with a plan and a purpose in mind. And I really hope that this week you guys remember that while we are sharing this truth with these kids, it applies just as much to you. And we are so thankful that you are giving your time and your energy and your love to come and share these truths with these kids. And we just want to remind you that God has created you with a purpose and he has a plan for you. Okay. So after large group, you are going to bring the kiddos back to the room and you are going to have 2 bags. And you're going to have these cut up and in those bags. And so what you're going to have the kids do is you're going to have the kids draw 2. So you'll have the kids draw from one bag and one from the other bag. So they'll have 2 total. And what you're going to do is you're going to have that kid read off and then you're going to discuss how can this be used for the glory of God. Okay. So for an example, one of them is you can draw really well. So how can you use that creativity for God's plan in your life? And of course, there's so many things that you can use that one gift for. And so it's a lot of discussion with the kiddos today, but really just allowing them to sit and know that they're here for a reason and that God built them the way he built them for a reason. And it doesn't matter what that looks like, but it matters that we find that God-given purpose in our life. And then you're going to talk more about the Bible verse. So we're really going to spend some time taking apart Ephesians 2:10. And so you're going to have a bag with different color of strips of paper. You're going to have green, red, orange, purple, and yellow. And what each of these strips are going to be is you're going to have kids think about what does this part of the verse mean to me? Okay, so if the kid pulls out a green strip, you're going to ask them, what does we are God's creation mean to you? Now, while we are discussing this and we're talking about what it means to us, make sure that we're not going AWOL, okay? Because we know kids and we are creative and we want to understand God's word, but we don't want to lose the truth behind God's word. And so each color strip has a section of the verse. And so you'll just go around and encourage the kids to pay attention and listen to each other. And then there's a lot of discussion questions to talk about once you go through that activity. It's a really great activity and a really great way to get the kids to understand Ephesians 2:10. And then we also have Psalm 139:14. So you're going to flip to that together as a group. You're going to read that verse and you're going to talk about how that verse makes a difference in the way that they think about themselves and others. And then after you read that verse and you talk about that question, you're going to give popped popcorn. You're going to have popcorn kernels that are already popped, and you're going to give one to each kid. And you're really going to have them analyze that popcorn kernel, and you're going to have them talk about how each and every one of those popcorn kernels are different and unique. You could also talk about snowflakes. I love snowflakes. It boggles my mind how there are so many snowflakes and none of them are the same, because that is how amazing our God is when it comes to uniqueness and creativity. He is limitless, and yet there's always a purpose. And so talk about those popcorn kernels with your kiddos. Talk about Psalms 139:14. And then you are going to pray. And you're going to pray over these kids, and you're going to pray over their needs and their worries, and also how God can use their creativity. They also have a prayer kind of written out for you that the kids can kind of participate in as you read it. So it has it broken down where you will read Ephesians 2:10 over these kids, and how when you say certain sections, the kids can pray out loud or pray in their heads pieces to that. And so, dear God, thank you for the promises that we've heard today in Ephesians 2:10 that says we are your creation. And as you say that, the kids can either thank God out loud or thank him in his head, how thank God for creating them in this way. And so just really spend time in prayer. And this week is a really great discussion week. The kids today really don't understand how much they are created by God, and that they have an identity in God, and how they are loved by God. And there's a lot of comparing and a lot of nastiness and a lot of lies that are fed to them all the time. So we're just really praying over your groups this week. We're praying over you guys as you are the front lines of these tough questions. We love you. We're right outside the door. If there's ever something that comes up and you guys need a second set of ears listening in on the conversation, because I know kids and it can get wild. So we're just really praying that, God really speaks to these kids and gives them that hope and that identity that they were created by purpose, for a purpose by God. And so thank you guys. We love you. We can't wait to see you.